Your dog tells you they love you every single day, but you're missing it. Almost all of it. Because dogs don't say I love you the way humans do. They don't use words. They don't use grand gestures. They use tiny, quiet behaviors that happen so naturally, you've probably walked right past them 1,000 times without realizing what they meant. Some of these are things your dog does every single day. And once you understand what they actually mean, you will never look at your dog the same way again. But the last one on this list, that's the one that gets people. Because it's something your dog does that most owners have completely misunderstood for years. And when you finally see it for what it really is, it might be the most powerful thing you've ever learned about your dog. Let's start with one you probably noticed this morning. They follow you to the bathroom. Why does your dog insist on following you into the bathroom? Every single time, without fail. You get up, you walk toward the bathroom, and there they are, right behind you. Sometimes they sit at your feet. Sometimes they just lie on the floor and stare at you. And most owners laugh it off or find it slightly annoying. But here's what's actually happening. In the wild, canines are pack animals. And within a pack, the most vulnerable moments are when a member is alone and stationary, drinking water, eating, relieving themselves. These are the moments when predators strike. Your dog doesn't know you're in a house with locked doors. Their ancient brain is running code that says, my person is in a vulnerable position. I need to be there. They're not being clingy. They're standing guard. A study on canine social behavior found that dogs are significantly more likely to follow their primary attachment figure than any other household member. They don't do this with everyone. They do it with the person they've bonded to most deeply. So that dog sitting on your bathroom floor, looking slightly ridiculous, that's not a nuisance. That's a bodyguard who loves you so much they refuse to let you be unprotected, even for 2 minutes. 2. They bring you their toy. Ever had your dog walk up to you and drop a disgusting, slobbery toy in your lap? Most people think their dog wants to play, and sometimes they do. But there's another layer to this that almost nobody talks about. Dogs are natural resource guarders. In the wild, food, prey, and valuable objects are protected fiercely. A dog doesn't share their most prized possession with just anyone. When your dog brings you their favorite toy, they're not just asking for a game of fetch. They're offering you the most valuable thing they own. In dog language, this is a gift. Think about it from their perspective. That toy is the thing they chew when they're stressed. The thing they carry around for comfort. The thing they'd growl at another dog for touching. And they're placing it in your hands voluntarily. Canine behaviorists describe this as a sharing behavior rooted in pack bonding. It's the dog equivalent of saying, this is my most important thing, and I want you to have it. Because you're more important. Next time your dog drops that soggy, half-destroyed toy at your feet, don't push it away. Receive it. Hold it for a second. That small moment means more to your dog than you'll ever know. 3. They lean their body against you. This one is so subtle, most owners feel it, but never think about it. You're standing in the kitchen, your dog walks over and just presses their body against your leg. Not asking for food, not asking for a walk, just leaning. Or you're sitting on the couch and they shift their weight until their entire side is flush against yours. No eye contact, no pawing, just pressure. Here's what that pressure means. Dogs have a concept called contact comfort. It was first studied in primates, but has since been observed across social mammals, including dogs. Physical contact with a trusted companion triggers a measurable drop in cortisol and a rise in oxytocin, in both the dog and the human. When your dog leans against you, they're not being lazy. They're not using you as a pillow. They're actively regulating their own nervous system through your presence. But here's the part that makes this extraordinary. They could lean against a wall, a couch, a bed. Anything solid would provide physical support. But they choose you. Because it's not about the pressure, it's about who the pressure comes from. Your dog is saying, your presence makes my body feel safe. And there is no clearer way a dog can say I love you than choosing your body as the place where their stress disappears. 4. They sigh when they're next to you. Have you ever heard your dog let out a long, deep sigh while lying next to you? Most people think it means their dog is bored, or tired, or just being dramatic. They're wrong. Dogs have 2 very different types of sighs. A short, sharp exhale through the nose usually signals frustration or mild annoyance. But a long, slow sigh with their eyes half closed or fully closed, that's something entirely different. Researchers studying canine emotional expression found that deep sighing in a relaxed posture is associated with a state of contentment and emotional resolution. It's the sound a dog makes when they've assessed their environment, confirmed they're safe, and decided to fully let go. And here's the key. This sigh almost always happens in the presence of their primary attachment figure. You. Your dog doesn't sigh like this when they're alone. They don't sigh like this with strangers. They sigh like this when the one person who makes their world feel complete is right there beside them. That sound you've been ignoring? That's your dog's version of saying, everything I need is right here. I'm home. And if this is making you hear your dog differently right now, hit subscribe. It's the best way to help other dog owners catch the signals they've been missing. 5. They make eye contact with you, softly. This is one of the most scientifically powerful things on this list. Have you ever been sitting quietly and looked over to find your dog just gazing at you? Not staring intensely, not begging for food, just looking at you with soft, relaxed eyes. Most owners glance back and look away. They don't realize what just happened. A groundbreaking study from Azabu University in Japan discovered something remarkable. When dogs and their owners share a mutual gaze, both experience a significant spike in oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers to their newborns. This wasn't a small effect. Oxytocin levels in owners increased by over 300% during prolonged mutual gazing with their dogs. And the dogs' levels rose in parallel. No other domesticated animal triggers this response in humans. Not cats, not horses, not any other species. Only dogs. Over thousands of years of coevolution, dogs developed the ability to hijack the most powerful bonding mechanism in human biology. And they did it through eye contact. So when your dog looks at you with those soft eyes, they're not just looking. They're flooding your brain with the same chemical that makes a parent fall in love with their child. And their brain is receiving the exact same flood in return. That quiet gaze across the room, that's not nothing. That's a 15,000-year-old love language that only exists between humans and dogs. No other 2 species on Earth share it. 6. They check on you in another room. This one happens so fast you might not even register it. You're in one room, your dog is in another, and every so often they get up, walk to wherever you are, look at you for a second or two, and then walk back to where they were. No tail wagging, no excitement, just a quick visual check, and they're gone. What was that about? In wild canine packs, members perform regular visual check-ins with their bonded companions. It's not about play or food or attention. It's a safety confirmation. Are you still there? Are you okay? Good. I'll go back to what I was doing. Your dog is running this same protocol on you, multiple times a day. You just never noticed because it's so quiet and so brief. But think about what this means. Your dog is in a comfortable spot. They're resting. They have no reason to move. But something in their brain says, I need to make sure my person is okay. And that impulse is strong enough to make them get up, walk across the house, confirm you exist, and go back. They're not being restless. They're not being needy. They're performing an act of love so small and so consistent that it becomes invisible. But it's happening every single day. And now that you know, you'll start catching it. That brief appearance in the doorway, that quick glance. That's your dog saying, still here? Good. I love you. Carry on. 7. They yawn when you yawn. This one sounds ridiculous, but the science behind it is extraordinary. Have you ever yawned and noticed your dog yawn right after? Most people think it's a coincidence. It's not. Contagious yawning is one of the most well-studied markers of empathy in mammals. In humans, we only catch yawns from people we have an emotional connection with. Strangers' yawns don't affect us nearly as much as yawns from family or close friends. Dogs do the same thing. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that dogs were significantly more likely to yawn in response to their owner's yawn than a stranger's yawn. And the effect was strongest in dogs with the closest bonds to their owners. This means your dog isn't just mirroring a physical reflex. Their brain is emotionally synced with yours at a level deep enough to trigger involuntary physiological responses. They feel what you feel. Not metaphorically, literally. Their nervous system is so tuned into yours that your body's signals become their body's signals. That contagious yawn you laughed about, that's empathy. Real, measurable, scientifically confirmed empathy. Your dog doesn't just love you, they feel you, in a way most humans never will. 8. They show you their belly. Remember at the beginning when I said the last one gets people? This is it. And it's probably something your dog did today. Your dog rolls over and shows you their belly. You reach down and give them a rub. They seem to enjoy it. End of story, right? Not even close. A dog's belly is the most vulnerable part of their entire body. Every vital organ is there, unprotected by the rib cage, completely exposed. In the wild, no canine would ever expose their belly to another animal unless they were either submitting out of fear or expressing absolute, unconditional trust. And here's what most owners get wrong. When your dog shows you their belly, the common assumption is they want a belly rub. Sometimes they do. But the act of rolling over itself before you even touch them, that's the message. They're saying, here is the part of me that is most vulnerable. The part that, if anything went wrong, would end me. And I'm giving it to you willingly, because I trust you with my life. Canine behaviorists emphasize that belly exposure in a relaxed context is one of the highest trust signals a dog can offer. It goes against every survival instinct they have. Every fiber of their evolutionary wiring says, protect your belly. And they override all of it for you. Not because you trained them to, not because they want something, because in their mind, you are the safest place in the world. Think about every time your dog has rolled over at your feet. Every lazy morning, every evening on the couch, every time they flopped onto their back and looked up at you with those soft eyes. That wasn't just cute. That was your dog handing you the most sacred thing they have, their complete, unguarded vulnerability, and saying, I'm yours, all of me, even the parts that could get me hurt. No human will ever trust you that purely. No human is even capable of it. But your dog does it without thinking, every single day. without ever asking for anything in return. So tonight, when your dog follows you to the kitchen, leans against your leg, drops a toy at your feet, or just looks at you from across the room, pay attention, because they've been saying, I love you, this whole time. In every sigh, every glance, every belly offered without hesitation. You just didn't speak the language yet. Now you do.